So welcome to all of you Shiksha 360, and today basically we have two MCQ discussions set number 2, that is of module B. Clear? That is of module B. So let's start our first question of our today's session. So at the portfolio level, clear, basically at the portfolio level, what are the techniques? Clear, basically at the portfolio level, what are the techniques used to mitigate? Clear, basically at the portfolio level, basically what are the techniques basically used to mitigate the credit risk? Clear, used to mitigate the credit risk. So option number A is asset securitization. Option number B is credit derivatives. Option number C is both A and B above. Option number D is none of these. Clear, option number D is none of these. Clear. So among that, clear, basically either A, B or C. Please tell fast. Clear, basically at the portfolio level, basically what are the techniques basically used to mitigate basically means that to reduce. Clear, basically to reduce the credit risk. Clear, basically to reduce the credit risk. Clear. So this question basically it is from chapter number 12. Clear, chapter number 12, and I think basically we have already discussed these things already. So what is the correct answer? Please tell fast. Option number A, B, C, D. A is credit asset securitization. Option number B is credit derivatives. Clear. So B we already know. Clear, basically B we already know, that is basically we are using credit derivatives. Clear, basically we are using credit derivatives here. Clear, like CDS. Clear, credit derivatives basically to reduce the or to mitigate the credit risk. Clear, credit derivatives that are also very important for the examination point of view, that is credit default swaps, credit linked notes, that is basically CDN, sorry, CLN, credit linked notes, CDS, credit default swaps, TRS, total return swaps. Clear. So all these things basically we are using here. Clear. CD, credit derivatives. Clear. So this one it has to be correct one. Along with that, basically asset securitization basically we are also using. Clear. Basically asset securitization basically we are also using. Clear. So basically both A and B are to be correct here. Clear. Basically both A and B are to be correct here. So what is the correct answer? That is option number C. Clear. That is option number C. It is the correct answer. Both A and B above. Clear. Option number C. It is the correct answer. That is basically both A and B above. Clear. So option number C is the correct answer. So please remember that, and I request all of you please go through that. This is basically already in the ABM also. In the ABM, I think chapter number 32 or 33. Clear. What is credit default swap? What is credit linked notes? Clear. They are already available there. Clear. So this is the one of the common topic of both the papers. Clear. So please remember that. Now move to the next question. Question number 12. So the foreign exchange open positions. Clear. Basically the foreign exchange open positions and gold open positions are at present risk weighted at. So thus the capital charge basically for foreign exchange and gold open position is clear. So and then the capital charge and the foreign open position basically capital charge basically for the foreign exchange and the gold open position is clear. So please tell fast what is the correct answer here. Clear. Please tell fast what is the correct answer here, if anyone knows regarding that. Option number is 125, 11.25. Second is 100,9. Third is basically that is 122, 11.25. Fourth one is basically that is 150, 11.25. Clear. So basically the foreign exchange open position and gold open position are at present basically risk weighted as basically 100%. Clear. Basically at 100%. Clear. So they are to be at 100%. So this one is to be, and capital charge basically for that it is to be 9%. Clear. And capital charge basically for that it is to be 9%. Clear. Capital charge basically for that it is to be basically 9%. Clear. So please remember that. Clear. So please remember that these things. Okay, so option number B is the answer. Clear. So these things are basically for the remembering purpose. There is nothing any understanding for that. Clear. So basically option number B is the correct answer here. Now move to the next question. Very, very easy question. What is RAROC? Clear, sir? This question I have already asked basically many times in the examination also. Clear regarding the RAROC. Hope all of you are remember this thing. And this basically we have already discussed under the chapter number 8. Clear, chapter number 8, that is RAROC. Clear. So best, can anyone tell basically RAROC, that is risk adjusted return on capital. So it is basically operating returns. It is basically net returns. It is returns net of risk. It is basically gross return. Clear. So please tell fast what is that. Clear. It is operating returns. It is net returns. It is returns net of risk. It is gross returns. Clear. So basically it is gross returns. Clear. So please tell fast what is the correct answer. So basically it is a returns net of risk. Clear. Basically it is a returns net of a risk. Clear. So option number C is the correct answer. Basically it is returns net of risk. This is the answer. Clear. So basically along with that, basically we have also discussed one more point. Basically higher the RORAC. Clear. Basically higher the RAROC, the higher is the reward. Clear. So the higher the ROC, the higher is the reward to investors or shareholders. Clear. So the higher is the reward basically to the investors or shareholders. Clear. Please remember that. Clear. Please remember that. Higher the ROC, basically higher is the reward to basically the investors and the shareholders. Clear. Basically to the investors and the shareholders. Any doubt, any query, any question basically up to this much point, please ask fast. As I have want one question discussed basically with you. In the chapter number 8, clear, basically we have discussed regarding the volatility also. Clear. Basically we have discussed regarding the volatility also. Clear. So can anyone tell basically what is the formula of the volatility? Please tell fast basically if anyone remember basically what is the formula of the volatility, that is volatility basically over a time horizon. So can anyone tell basically what is the formula of that? It is equal to basically daily volatility into square root of time. Clear. So that is basically known to be as the volatility of a time horizon, that is equal to the daily volatility into square root of a time. Clear. Basically into square root of a time. Okay, so please remember that all these things. So now move to the next question, question number 14. That is also basically from chapter number basically value at risk. Clear. Basically value at risk, that is related to that. From chapter number 11. So value at risk, VAR, measures the potential loss in market value. Clear. So value at risk basically measures the potential loss. Clear. Basically value at risk basically measures the potential loss basically in market value under dash of a portfolio using estimated and dash for a given dash measured with the specific. So please tell what is the, which option basically we have to fill basically in the given question. Clear. Basically which option. Clear. So please remember that basically value at risk basically measure the potential loss basically in the market value. Clear. Measure the potential loss basically in the under normal circumstances or abnormal circumstances. Clear. Basically we have already discussed. Clear. Basically it will not measure the market. Clear. Basically when it is under abnormal. Clear. So basically it will not measure basically when the market basically it is under abnormal. Clear. So option number B, it is totally wrong here. Clear. So basically it measures the market, basically measure the potential loss basically in the market under normal circumstances. Clear. Basically under normal circumstances of a portfolio. So this one or this one, using estimated. Clear. So basically what it use. Clear. Basically what it use, basically they will use the volatility volatility, clear, using the estimated volatility and correlation. Clear, volatility, correlation. Clear. So this one it is correct with this one. For a given horizon or time, basically for a given horizon. Clear. Basically for a given horizon. Clear. So option number A is the correct answer. Measured with the specific confidence interval. Clear. Basically measured with the specific confidence interval. Clear. So please remember that regarding all these points. Clear. Sometimes basically they will ask little bit typical, not typical, basically we can say that tricky based questions. Clear. Because they have confused you basically in the options in that these types of questions. Clear. So you have to be very carefully clear while answering these questions and try to understand all the things properly. Clear. Because presently basically from the last 1 or 2 attempts, clear, they are more focusing on the theoretical based questions. Clear. Basically they are more focusing on the theoretical based questions basically in the place of the numerical based. Clear. Okay. So okay, so here basically volatility basically that is volatility basically means the rate or the price move. Clear. Basically rate or price move. Clear. Basically volatility basically means the rate or price move. And correlation, what is correlation basically here? That is how rates or prices, clear, basically how rates or prices move in a relation to each other. Clear. Basically move in a relation to each other. Clear. Basically move in a relation to each other. Clear. So here basically time it is also, but the more correct word that is basically horizon. Clear. Horizon, that is basically you can say that time basically it is not appropriate word here. Clear. Basically time it is basically not appropriate word here. Clear. Okay, so basically horizon basically it is a more appropriate. Okay, so please remember that regarding all these things. And yesterday basically we have discussed in the previous session what is the formula of the price volatility. So can anyone tell basically what is the formula of the price volatility? Please tell fast. What is the formula of the price volatility basically which we have discussed in the previous session? YV into BPV into Y upon price. So if anyone remember basically YV is equal to yield volatility. BP basis point value into yield upon price. Clear. So I request to all of you, please remember that all these things. Clear. Basically, please remember that all these things. Now move to the next question. Question number 15. So which of the following is not a technique? Clear. Basically, which of the following, basically it is not a technique to hedge foreign exchange exposures. Clear. Basically, which of the following, basically it is not a technique to hedge. Clear. Basically to hedge foreign exchange exposures. Clear. Basically which of the following, basically it is not a technique to hedge foreign exchange exposures. Option number A is futures. Option number B is options. Option number C is market, money market operations. Option number D is basically none of these. Clear. Basically option number D is none of these. Clear. So what will be the correct answer? So basically which of the following, basically it is not a technique. Clear. This one it is also a technique. Clear. Basically futures is also a technique. Options basically it is also a technique. Clear. Basically futures is also a technique. Options basically it is also a technique. Money market operation basically it is also a technique. Clear. So money market operations. Clear. According to me basically this will be the answer. Clear. Money market operations. Clear. So option number C will be the answer here. Clear. Basically option number C will be the answer here. That is money market operations. Clear. Basically money market operations. Clear. If anyone has any doubt, any query regarding any, so you can ask. Clear? Basically, we will later. So along with that, clear? Basically, along with that, basically, I have one more question. Basically, for mitigating interest rate risk, clear? Basically, for mitigating interest rate risk, basically, which techniques are to be used for mitigating interest rate risk? Please tell fast. For mitigating interest rate risk, basically, first one, basically, that is interest rate swaps. Second one, basically, that is FRA, forward rate agreements. Third one, basically, that is financial futures. Clear? So all these things, clear? So basically all these things basically helping for mitigating the interest rate risk. Clear? So basically mitigating the interest rate risk. Clear? So I will discuss basically for mitigate, not a technique to hedge foreign exchange risk. Basically option number D is the answer here. Clear? None of the above. Clear? Basically none of the above. Clear? So basically for not a technique. Clear? None of the above. Clear? Because which basically they use. Clear? Basically for the forex risk. Clear? To mitigating the forex risk. Basically what they will use. Basically they will use forex forward contract. Forex forward contract. For mitigating the forex risk, basically they will use forex forward contracts or other forex options or forex futures. Sorry, futures. So not this one, this one. Okay. Not C is the answer here. Clear? Not C is the answer here. Clear? So option number C is the answer here. Hope it is clear to up to this much point. Clear? C is the answer. For mitigating interest rate risk, forex risk, clear? Basically, we have already discussed all the points regarding. Now move to the next question. What is the capital conservation buffer? Clear? Very, very important. Clear? Basically, we have also discussed in detail regarding the capital conservation buffer. Clear? So please tell fast, basically, what is the correct answer regarding that? Clear? Basically, what is the correct answer regarding that? Clear? So basically, this is also known as CCB. What is the capital conservation buffer? Option number A is it is intended to protect the banks basically from the counter cyclical nature of banks earning. Clear? Basically from the counter cyclical nature basically of the banks earning. Clear? So this one, it is correct or not? So basically this one, basically it is basically for not for the counter cyclical. This is wrong. It is basically for the basically for what basically that is basically at the time of the losses or basically during the stress period, basically they will use that. Clear? It is intended to protect from the counter cyclical. No. Can we set basically between 0.0% to 2.5% of the risk weighted assets and is at the discretion of the regulators in individual countries. So basically causes a tier 1 equity capital ratio requirement to increase to 7% of risk weighted assets in normal economic periods. Clear? So what is CET, common equity tier 1 capital? It is to basically 5.5%. Clear? So have anyone remember that regarding? And basically we have add further basically 1.5% to make it as a 7%. Clear? To make it as a 7%. Clear? To make it as 7%. Clear? Hope now you are able to remember that. Clear? The CET1 5.5%. What basically we have at additional tier 1 capital. Clear? Additional tier 1 capital basically we have at 1.5 to make it as a 7. As basically we have already discussed. Clear? Basically we have already discussed all these things under the chapter number 24 also. Clear? Basically under the chapter number 24 also basically we have already discussed all these things. So anyone remember or not? I have discussed the complete chart also there, so that basically you are able to remember all these things. And CCB basically where is capital conservation buffer, basically it is basically 2.5%. Clear? Basically it is to basically 2.5% of that. Clear? So basically here in the option would be basically between, no, basically it is to basically 2.5%. Clear? So that's why basically this one it is to be wrong. It can be set between 0% to and 2.5%. No, basically it is 2.5% directly. So this one requires a total capital to risk weighted asset ratio basically must be at 10.5%. Clear? Must be at 10.5% basically at all the times. Clear? Not 10.5, basically it is 11.5. Clear? So it is to be basically 11.5 basically at all the times. So option number C basically as per the given, it is basically we can say that basically it is the correct one. That is basically causes the tier 1 equity capital ratio requirements basically to increase to 7% of risk weighted assets in normal economic periods. Clear? So basically this is basically for the normal economic periods also. Clear? Basically normal economic periods also. Okay. Please remember that all these things. Clear? So that basically you are able to answer the question in the examination. Clear? Counter cyclical capital buffer, basically it is a different thing. Clear? Counter, that is basically triple CB. Clear? That is basically triple CB. This is CCB, that is basically triple CB. Counter cyclical capital conservation buffer. Clear? So here basically this one it is also wrong one. There because counter cyclical nature. This one it is also wrong one. Clear? Because they are saying that basically up to 2.5%. Clear? So this one is also wrong one because in that basically it is to basically 10.5, not basically it is 11.5. Clear? That the last basically that is minimum total capital ratio plus CCB. It is to basically 11.5%. Clear? 11.5%. Clear? So this one it is to be also. So only basically we can say that basically it is C. That is basically 5.5 plus 1.5. Clear? So it is 7%. Clear? As this question sent by one of the student. Clear? They will find at any place. Clear? So basically you can go with the option in that way. Clear? Here basically what we are doing, try to take out the negative, basically which one is the wrong. Clear? Basically which one basically we are clearly find out that these are the wrong options. So basically we are trying to eliminate that. Clear? So basically here we are trying to eliminate that all these options. Okay. And if we are, so I will write for tier 1 capital ratio requirement. In causes the tier 1 equity capital. So I will tell, wait a minute, that tier 1 that is basically 5.5 plus additional tier 1. 1.5. That is total 7%. If we add CCB, that is 2.5%. So basically it is to be 9.5%. Clear? But basically we have not to add. Clear? So minimum total capital ratio, that is 9%. Clear? Minimum total capital ratio, that is 5.5 plus 2.5. This basically we are saying that basically plus 1.5% tier 1 capital. Clear? 1.5% basically tier 1 capital basically we are adding here to go to with the 7%. Clear? 5.5 plus 1.5. I will check once again basically if there is any issue regarding that question. Clear? So okay, no need to worry regarding that. I will check once again. Clear? So basically these basically we will directly find that basically why these are the wrong here. Clear? Basically why these are the wrong here. Okay. Now move to the next question. Question number 18. So the approval of market risk. Wait a minute, there is an issue going on. So the approval of market risk limits, basically it is based on, clear? The approval of market risk, clear? The approval of market risk limits, basically it is basically based on listen fast. What is the correct answer? Clear? That is basically market risk. Clear? So basically this is a different chapter number 11. The approval of market risk limits, basically it is based on option number A, that is units capacity and capability basically to perform within those limits. Second one basically that is effectiveness of controls. Third one basically that is trading revenues. Option number D is all the above. Clear? Option number D is all the above. Clear? So the approval of market risk limits basically it is based on that option number A, that is units capacity and capability to perform within those limits. This one it is correct. Basically effectiveness of the control. Clear? Basically how much basically we are controlling that. Third one basically that is trading revenues. Clear? So all the basically A, B, and C are to be corrected. So option number D is the answer here. Clear? Option number D is the answer here. Clear? So please remember that basically option number D is the answer here. That is all the above. Now move to the next question. That is basically measurement of the credit risk. Clear? Basically measurement of the credit risk consists of, clear? Basically measurement of the credit risk basically consists of chapter number question from chapter number 12. So measurement of the credit risk. Clear? First one basically that is measurement through the credit rating. Clear? So this one it is to be correct one. Clear? It is basically measurement through the credit rating. This one it is correct one. Credit rating basically we are using different models. Clear? Basically we are using different credit rating model. Clear? So can anyone tell basically what are the different models basically we are using here, like? Clear? So basically under that basically we have covered also at Elsman Z-score model. Clear? Elsman Z-score model, and hope all of you have basically gone through the case study basically which we have discussed regarding that. Clear? I'm expecting basically all of you have basically gone through the case studies basically which we have discussed regarding that. Clear? So this one it is to be correct one, that is basically measurement through the credit rating. Second one, quantifying the risk basically through the tracking portfolio behavior. Clear? Quantifying the risk basically through the tracking portfolio behavior. So quantifying the risk basically through the tracking portfolio behavior. Third one basically that is quantifying the risk basically through the standard deviation of the losses. Clear? Basically through the standard deviation of the losses. Clear? So B it is also correct one. Clear? That is through the portfolio behavior. Third one basically that is through the standard deviation of the losses. Clear? This one it is also correct one. Clear? Through the standard deviation of the losses. Clear? So this one basically it is also correct one. So A, B, and C. Clear? So what basically here A, B, and C are to be correct one. So option number D is the answer here. Clear? Option number D is the answer here. Please go through that. Very, very important. Clear? That is basically measurement of the credit risk. Clear? That is basically measurement of the credit risk. Any doubt, any query basically up to this much point? Clear? Because in this session basically we have to discuss up to this much question, and I think once again basically I will consider that question. Clear? I will check once again basically question number 16. Clear? If there is any error or basically there is any updation in that, basically I will discuss in the next question. Clear? So that basically we are able to clear basically why other options are neglected. Clear? I will go through once again that question. Clear? Hope all the other questions basically is clear to all of you. So thanks to all of you for joining this session.